Kyle joins me now for a first look at sports, starting off with the Bobcats action from last night.
Yeah, and it's been quite an up and down season for the Cats. It seems like they're winning and losing in bunches. So after losing a game to the Pontiacs on Thursday, the Cats were hoping to buck the trend against the Mustangs, and they wouldn't like this start. Just 19 seconds in, Calgary opens the scoring. The puck takes a weird bounce and goes right to the slot. Hey, down in front, Jamie King buries the rebound. It's 1-0. Now midway through the opening frame, a little more from the Mustangs. The Bobcats can't clear the zone. Cole Threndile finds himself all alone in front. He cashes in the backhand to extend the lead to 2. Now late in the period, Bobcats seem to find a spark. Lucas Bench, oh, there he is. He goes low short side, and it's a 1-goal game. They're still announcing that goal when the Cats strike again. Patrick Geary just throws it on the net, and it finds a hole. Lloydminster scored twice in 30 seconds to head into the break, tied up at 2. Now, early second period, Bobcats short-handed. Captain Grant Baker can't capitalize on the good chance in front. Same penalty. Stephen Pratt trips over the red line. Tanner Dunkel moves in all alone, but Jeff Orser is up to the task. Now, just a few minutes later, Bobcats once again short-handed. Tanner Dunkel with a beauty to give their Cats their first lead of the game. The Mustangs tie it before the period is out. Threndile with a nice backhand pass to Colby Cartier. Goal. 3-3 after 40. Now, final frame. Calgary just dumps it in. Threndile puts the puck on net, and Scott Sahlberg finishes the job. That's an ugly one, and your game winner. The Bobcats have now dropped 2 straight after their 7-game point streak. Tanner Dunkel's solid season continues. His shorthanded marker was his 10th goal of the season already, after only having 14 all of last year. The Red Deer native leads the Cats with 20 points in 22 games this season. And despite outshooting the Mustangs, head coach Gary Van Herway says his team just wasn't ready to play on Saturday night.
Mentally, you got to be prepared when the puck drops, and it's quite obvious when you give up a goal for the most part in the first 20 seconds and 30 seconds of the game, you're mentally not ready to compete, and you know, that's what's happened the last couple of games.
2 losses in a row isn't anything to start panicking over. I mean, we just got to go back to the basics and go back to our structure and hard work, and we'll be fine.
AJHL Commissioner Ryan Bartosik was at last night's game. He was in town on official business and is currently making the rounds of all 16 teams.
I think it's my 4th stop in my, I guess, unofficial AJHL Commissioner's Tour. So essentially sitting down with all of our teams and the Board of Governors and just kind of get an evaluation of where their clubs are at.
He talked about the Canadian Junior Hockey League's decision to adopt the 1-fight rule, where players receive a game misconduct for their first fight of a game. 5 CJHL leagues are currently using the rule, while the other 5 leagues, including the AJHL, are using a 2-fight rule.
Moving forward, now we're going to have to work with Hockey Alberta and Hockey Canada to really understand how our games are going to change. And it's going to be about educating our athletes and educating our coaches and working closely with our officials, like I said, to understand how our games are going to change next year.
The commission was also asked if he would like to see the AJHL expanded. He says the league is happy with 16 teams. And after beating the Bobcats, the Mustangs headed to Bonnyville for a matinee matchup with the Pontiacs. The game needed overtime, but the Mustangs pick up another win, and for the Pontiacs, it's kind of a tough loss. Jackson Dudley led the way with 2 goals and 2 assists. On the AAA midget scene, the Baker Hughes Bobcats have been in Edmonton all weekend for the AMHL Showcase Extravaganza. The Felines picked up a 7-3 win in their first game of the event yesterday and had an early morning matchup today. And a 6-3 decision is good enough for the Cats' 9th win of the season. Chaston Braid and Jared Coghill had 2 goals each in the win. Zachary Fisher stays red hot. He finished with 3 more points today, giving him 7 in his last 2 games. The Bobcats are home next Saturday for a date with the UFA Bisons. North Battleford's Andrew Albers' remarkable journey from the minor leagues to the Minnesota Twins was honored last night. More than 100 family, friends, and fans showed up to pay tribute to the 28-year-old. The night included a slideshow presentation and a few special guests from his past. During the off-season, the humbled Albers spends his time as a high school substitute teacher and is continually overwhelmed by the support from the community.
being where I'm from and having grown up here and having the ties that I have here, it's been pretty neat coming back and getting to see everyone again. I mean, this is home, and I'm really proud to call it home and really enjoy coming back here and running into everyone and being able to catch up with them. It's been really nice.
Wheatland football supremacy was on the line in St. Paul yesterday as the top two teams in the WFL went head-to-head. The Holy Rosary Raiders were looking to come home as champions, while the Lions were looking to defend their title on home turf. Pick it up with St. Paul already leading in the first half when Taylor Jolie bossed off a huge run, almost going end zone to end zone. Now that great play would eventually lead to this. Dylan Matura takes it to the house from a few yards out. Lions up 14-0. Now, late second quarter, Raiders down by a few touchdowns when Carl Teledetsky spots Donovan Granum, and that's a guy who knows what to do with it. He takes it to pay dirt for Holy Rosary's first touchdown of the game. Now, third quarter, Lions leading by a bunch, and they are going to add to it. Brendan McKay is going to air it out for Daryl Stranger, who makes the nice catch and then takes it in for the score. That puts the Lions up by 24. It's 34-10. Now, fourth quarter, Raiders trying to get something going. Teledetsky to Matthew Chapelski, who gets brought down right by the goal line. They would eventually punch that in shortly after, but it wouldn't really matter. St. Paul wins by a lot as the defending champions get the job done once again. The St. Paul Lions are your 2013 Wheatland Football Tier 1 champions.
It was a tough game, I'd say. They were a tough team. They kept playing and playing. We just got the upper hand early. And when you have the momentum in the game, that is a big deal.
I think we went into it with the wrong attitude. We felt like we were coming in as the underdogs and they weren't going to take us seriously, and we were just going to come in and sweep them right off the bat. But, once that wasn't the case, they kind of punched us in the mouth right off the bat, and I don't know, we didn't recover properly from that. So.
Well, it was a tough game all the way through. I mean, I don't know if I can point out one play that went wrong. We just kept working and working, and I couldn't tell you. It was just a great game.
Now that wasn't the only championship football happening over the weekend. The Wheatland Bantam Football League final was held on Friday night, and it was an all Lloydminster matchup as the Chargers took on the Mustangs. The Mustangs squeak out a 20-12 win on Friday to claim the 2013 WBFL title. Head coach Darren Posse says it was nice to take home the title after a few years of trying.
Pretty emotional. This was our third trip to the championship game in the last 3 years, and so we wanted it really bad.
We powered down the field. We threw some good balls too, and couldn't convert on most of them, but we had a couple good ones.
I was just so happy about my team because they just played amazing, and I couldn't have done it without all of them because they blocked for me and they just tackled good and they wrapped up, and I can't ask for a better team this year.
Well, it's Sunday, so for your viewing pleasure, here is the Newcap Sports Top 3.
Number 3, Donovan Granum takes it to pay dirt. Number 2, Tanner Dunkel lights the lamp. And number 1, Dylan Labucan flashes the ketchup.
That's all the time there is for sports, but one more note to pass along. It is Movember, and that means the men of Newcap are growing out their worst or best facial hair, depending on your opinion. To donate, please go to Movember.com and search for the Mocap TV team. All donations are much appreciated.